Gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Ooh, Robert, you sound sexy and new. Is there something you want to tell us about your sound? You sound like Henry Smith.
I know, right? I'm trying to emulate, some good brothers, but I got the podcast coming the way I see it. It's supposed to be launching, so I had to go grab a couple nice mics to do that.
I see your voice dropped an octave too. You
Right.
all midnight.
I had to get a couple of nice mics. Not one mic wasn't enough. I had to get a couple.
I had to go the way I see it. It's my podcast. I'm here for you ladies.
Hey,
Robert has.
And I'm not going to give you too much of a hard time, but I want you to. I've heard you say supposed to be. It's starting. Your podcast is coming. It's starting. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Everybody's going to love it. And that's it. That's all. So I'm going to start.
Thank you, brother.
Start releasing your verbiage.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because people do that to me all the damn time.
Yep. We do.
Hey, Mel, I really just want to haze people the way I was hazed. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, turnabout is fair play, good brother.
You know what I'm saying? How's everybody feeling, man, before we bring in our great and interesting guest for the evening? How's everybody feeling, man?
Man, I got shrimp and grits going. You know what I'm saying? My version of them is good to go, baby.
Yeah. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, hopefully you're not watching for the first time. But if you happen to be watching for the first time, we are the cast of Live from the Cave. I am your humble host, Sean Mason. Some 60 some odd weeks in, having a great time. This cast of characters is Robert Hazard, the lover of a life, Michael Bivens, and Bobby Brown. No, Glenn Murray of Two-Way Communications and a bunch of other stuff, and Mel Roberson, actor, serial entrepreneur dad, and a bunch of other stuff. Chef. And we are honored tonight to have with us the one, the only Luther Brewstrer production team. Let's get it. Luther.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say the first thing I'm gonna say is that there's only one Luther in my family, and that's my dad. So everybody who's anybody in me is Lou. And so please, y'all family, because the people who brought me on this show are my family. So y'all family by extension. So please call me Lou. I'm so happy to be on this show with y'all. I've checked out some other episodes. I think I told y'all via text, but I want to say it to your face. I think what y'all do is fire. I look forward to hopefully one day being able to sit across the table and maybe break some bread or have a drink with you. Your treat.
Yeah, he definitely is Roger's friend.
You come to my town, I'll treat. Your town, you gonna treat. That's how we do it. I'm from. If something new happen, y'all tell me, right? But nah, seriously, I just wanted to really make sure I said thank you to all of you for even just having me on this show, and I appreciate what y'all are doing, and I think it's incredible.
Hey man, we're honored that you would accept the request. And before we get out of here at the end of the show, I want to make sure we take a minute and cover what you're doing, where you're doing it. If there's a way that people can get in touch with you and find out what you're doing, we want to make sure we highlight that. And I just want to say, you ain't gonna get no trouble from me on the name tip because you sound like you can fight. That sound like sound like you're corporate now, but you up for their gym shoes back in the day. I'm not gonna give you no trouble.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Actually, it's quite the opposite. When I was a kid, man, I think my record was like 0 for 45, man. I I grew up in all the wrong neighborhoods. I must have grown up in the neighborhood with like Mike Tyson and Mark Wheelan or something. I could not catch a win, man. I couldn't catch a win. I tried.
Check this out. Check this out. Your win-loss record ain't my concern. The 45 fights is my concern. Like I had like
that's true, right? You don't want to be 1 for 46.
I had like 4 fights my whole childhood. You know, you had like 45. I'm like,
and I've had less than that, man. I'm like,
what circles was you running?
So orient me right quick. Are y'all all in Chicago?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I know y'all sometimes move around, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's the good part of the whole virtual culture is that we don't have to be in our home place to get down. You know, we can take the show with us.
Right.
And because of that, we also get to do what we're doing with you and have guests from all over the world. That doesn't limit us. You know what? If you have a connection or a relationship or you're doing something that's great, we can reach you. We can get you.
Right. And real quick, Lou.
Yeah, I picked it, Mel. No. I said one thing about not seeing the food, and now Mel, he all Insta. He got
right.
all held up.
Hey man,
I hit a nerve, but I'm gonna get good with dude. It's all good. We're gonna get good again, Mel. I promise you.
Hey man, before we get going, I want to ask everyone that's watching, man, to take some time, share the show to your page. We are still doing all we can to increase our viewership and expose people to the show. I want to take a minute and shout out Dorian Nash from Mike Check, who I was gigging, doing one of the things that I do, and she spotted me and gave me some love last Wednesday, and then I ultimately saw her again last night, and so I wanted to make sure that I gave her some love, and really proud of the reach that we're having, man, with the show. It says that we're doing some good things, and so with that said, again, I'm asking everybody, share it to your Facebook page. And Glenn, I'm getting ready to put you not in the hot seat, but put you behind the controls. We doing something in about 10 days for 2 days on the weekend. And I want you, Lou might not have even known about this, because it's a Chicago thing. But talk to the viewers about what we'll be doing next Saturday and Sunday.
Well, we still haven't figured out my intro or my soundtrack or anything else. So I ain't really at liberty.
We just know we're not paying
my
you.
Representative told me not to talk about it because I don't know if I'm going to be there or not. But I'll go and talk about it since the audience is there. I'll do it for the audience, for y'all, not for them, for y'all.
Thank you, Glenn. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes, for you, Lou. Even though you friends with Roger, and that's like having a stepbrother with divorced parents. But that's okay.
So that wasn't in the rider. That wasn't in the rider. Wait a minute.
and Lou, that's what happens. He says something that pissed Roger off, and he pulled it.
Yeah, he get dropped, right?
This is what you get for having the top 3 shows on MTV. I'm gonna need an office when it opens up. Anyway,
I'm gonna need you to get closer to your microphone, sexy man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can't be like Robert.
That's right.
Hey, man, we want to catch y'all at the expo for the Day's Black Woman, where me, Rob, Sean, and Mel are gonna be, and we're gonna tell you everything you want to hear.
That's a lot.
1st and 22nd. Ask Sean anything, and he will tell you. And it's gonna be hosted by none other than Yanni Brown. The one
Not both days, right?
started this whole stuff. Huh?
Both days are hosted by Yanni?
Yep, both days. You got her for 2 straight days, Sean.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Be careful the way you frame that. That sounded...
Anyway, tickets are on sale. I think they're on Eventbrite. Producers helped me out with that. Thank you.
Yes,
Black Women's Expo.
they're on
August
Eventbrite.
21st, 1 p.m. and August 22nd at 12 p.m. We are going to have a 45-minute show. No. 90-minute show. So we're going to talk.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we're going to talk relationships and
for 90 minutes.
So we're going to talk 2 topics both days. Please join us. We look forward to seeing you. Come up, say hi to us. You can call Robert the Lover of Life. The first time is free. The second time is $1. But we really want to see you there.
And Lou, I know you say you've watched a couple of the shows, so I know you know that we go at each other a little bit. So I just had to preface this by telling Rob I'm not coming for you when I say this.
Uh-oh.
But I want you to know that high-powered ass mic you got means you can't eat, because it sounds like elephants running through the crib when you chew them potatoes.
Does it really? I keep forgetting to hit the mute button.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on that, but I was like, I was waiting. I'm sort of like that cousin who, like, you got a time period. Like, you can't come in hard. You can't come in hard. You gotta get one lap around the house before you go hard.
Before you start coming for folks,
you
right?
don't stop chewing that potato chip
Doritos.
Yes.
No, you got to ask them a question.
Doritos you chewing, dude. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, you don't tell us.
You got to ask what part of the family you in. What part of the family you in, Rob? And then once I get that in, I'll be like, look here. Are you on the side of the family that's rude? Because you're chewing on them chips.
Right. The only thing
hey, Lou, tell us how you really feel, Lou. Come on, just tell us how you really feel.
Hey, 5 minutes, you fit right in.
Right.
Like you've always been here.
So me and Raj, the producer for this, who asked me to be on here, none of them are surprised at kind of how I get down. I'm a lover of life. And I just love good dude. I love good people, Yeah. So
right.
I just see y'all as good people, and I love that y'all welcome me to this. I can't wait for Mel to keep his promise and cook for me when I come to town.
He's trying to blow up now.
He'll do it. I can't lie. He'll do it, and you'll enjoy it.
I know. He's already. I got him on record now, so I'm gonna blast this on all over. I'm gonna be sharing this everywhere. Mel promising to really set it out for me when I come to Chicago. I'm gonna check my calendar. I think my next trip to Chicago is December, and I know y'all don't care nothing about the weather, so we barbecue in December.
With coats on, right?
Because I'm gonna go to Florida.
That's my birthday month, so we can get it. Hey man, we already at 9:15. That's how quickly time flies. I do want to say that I'm excited because this is going to be our first ever post follow-up show on Clubhouse. If y'all hadn't heard, we're leaving the show tonight when we sign off and going right to Clubhouse for an unfiltered, raw, no holds barred conversation. And guess what, ladies? This is an environment where you are welcome to join in and participate. We know we get a lot of flack for not having female guests. That's not going to change because the female head of the show said it's not going to change. But our after party, if you will, on Clubhouse for an hour is inclusive. So, ladies, bring all your anger and all your questions.
I wouldn't invite the
anger. We can leave the anger.
I wouldn't invite the anger, Sean.
Hey, they're always mad at me, Lou. There's somebody mad at me every week. So,
well, let me remind you, I'm a moderator on the Clubhouse thing. So, ladies, I will kick you out. So don't play. Don't come up in my house clowning. That's all I say. Don't come up in my house clowning.
Ex-girlfriends got to show their vaccination cards.
Hey.
Okay, on to the first subject.
Okay, here we go. I put somebody off already. So hey, man, we got a lot of cool topics to discuss, man. Hopefully we can get through them.
Or not.
So here's an interesting question. This came from your boy, Lou. Do you prepare for failures in life and business or just handle them as they come? Do you prepare for failures in life and business or just handle them as they come? Lou, in honor of your first time on the show, I'm going to let you field that question first. Tell me what you think with in regard to that. Do you prepare for failures in life and business, or you just handle them when they come?
Yeah. So my thing is, failure is easier to deal with than success. So I prepare for success. You prepare for the thing that's going to be most difficult. And, I think a lot of times people don't prepare themselves for success. They don't plan for success. I'm kind of encountering some of that out here in Las Vegas. People have bold ambitions, and then they get that ambition and they're like, damn, well, now what do I do? And so you should have been prepared for that if you truly believed in yourself. If you believe in yourself, then you winning before you even started. And so, I'm a very faith-oriented individual. And so if I lay down, close my eyes, and God put it in my head, then as far as I'm concerned, it's already been manifested. I'm already there. And then I just need to work backwards from that. So I don't really even have long conversations about failure because I don't understand the concept. Whatever happened in my life was a step towards the ultimate. So how can I call it failure? So, I always use the example of like Malcolm X, right? So Malcolm X got into some trouble. He ends up in jail. He meets another dude who's in jail. He made some mistakes. And look, all that was birthed from 2 mistakes. So would you call that failures or the preamble to success? And that's kind of how I see it. Like, that's just the preamble to success. And so, yeah, I'll just leave it there.
I got you. I like it. Rob, tell me what you think, man. You've made some moves in corporate America. You've made some moves in your personal life. Where has that left you, man? You prepare for failures in life and or business, or do you just handle them as they come? You might want to come down a little bit on your volume, Rob, just a hair.
Can you? I don't know how to.
Well, then don't worry about it. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Kennery about that.
I can hear your heart beating, but I'm just.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Mason. So here's the thing about that. Lou, you kind of hit the head, was nail on the head with that. It's kind of hard to follow behind that, but I think that I've always looked at lessons, and in business as well as in personal. So these are some of the things I don't prepare for any of that. I have faith too. That's why Faith, Failure, Success, the book, Amazon bestseller, is out. That's right. So, and I wrote a couple things in that book that talk about my faith as well as my failure and some of the successes that I've had in corporate America. But I don't think you prepare for that.
Real subtle, Rob.
Yeah, right. I had to slide that in there.
Tell him, Rob.
But it's all about a lesson, man. I walk away, Sean, with some of the failures that I've had in my marriages and stuff like that, and I look at it as a lesson. What did I learn from it? Where can I go next?
Glenn, go ahead and talk to me. I'm going to save Mel for last intentionally because he is always, as these guys have been, he's always the picture of positivity. So I'm sure he has something insightful to say regarding it, and I'm gonna answer after you, Glenn, because I think that, of course, I'm the Debbie Downer of the group. Not so much, but But go ahead, Glenn.
You might be tonight. I don't know. You kind of stank tonight, Sean.
I'm kind of stank. He doesn't mean hygiene wise, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Go ahead.
Anyway, it's about mindset. I look at my failures, I look at my success, and I dream so big until the failures are like, you have to just roll with the punches. The failures are jabs to me because I'm punching success. So I'm always moving forward, always punching forward, always moving towards success. So my mindset is that failure is a bump in the road. It's a stumble, but it's never something that's going to take me down. So that's how I view it. I mean, I've stumbled upon great successes and I've planned great failures. So that's how life works sometimes.
I like that.
Life works like that sometimes. Some of your best successes are things you never planned for.
Yeah.
Some of your greatest failures are things you thought were just going to take off. So, that's a lesson that I've learned and I've taken with me.
Lou said something that got my attention when he talked about, Malcolm X and being in jail. And so sometimes I think you can't necessarily define something as a failure because the story isn't yet completed. And so, like you said, it could be a speed bump, it could be a pothole, a bump in the road. But in those examples, like what Lou described, I do think failure can be divine. You can have some divine failure simply because the chapter isn't completed. It's up to you, though, to realize that it's just a speed bump or a pothole. You can't let that divine failure be the end of the story for you. But I also think that there's nothing wrong with planning for every possibility, especially when in your mind you know that failure isn't going to be the last lap of the race, because you also don't want to be so positive in your thinking that when you get hit with something unexpected, you're unprepared because you're so focused. That can stall everything for you, right? So I think that in your planning for success, there's nothing wrong with having some off ramps that you foresee that are possible on the journey, where you might need gas or your engine might run hot. You might need a timing belt or something, and you gotta reroute a little bit on your way. But I definitely think that you acknowledge the possibility of failure, but you only prepare for success. And I think there's a difference. You can acknowledge that possibility without preparing for it, because you know that should you turn that corner, then here's what I'm going to do to get back on the road.
Right, so let's follow that analogy. Sean. All right, so I might punch in Google Maps to get me somewhere, right? Yeah. Failure is not getting to the place I intended to go.
Absolutely.
All right, but success is getting there and getting there faster than I had anticipated.
Well,
right?
For me, success is getting there, period. It might, because sometimes
no. Success is getting there faster than I anticipated. Getting there is just sort of like, that's the average dude. That's the average cat. Just get there, right?
Right.
Success is a little more than just being average. So now if I got there, that ain't success. That's just any cat could do that. Before Mel jumps in there,
what if your initial destination was already something that the average cat can't get?
That's a whole nother story. That's about now you start talking about like you can have a failure, right? And this is where I believe like you got to have ambitions that even your failures are another cat's success, right? If you run for president, right, and you lost,
yeah,
okay, you still have accomplished the success that the average cat won't even get to.
True that. You got nominated. Even if you didn't win, you got nominated.
Yeah, right. That's a whole nother story. If your worst accomplishment is I lost running for president, then life is good.
True that.
Right? Okay. What I'm saying to you is that if my goal is to get there and get there faster, right? Baked into me getting there faster is getting there. So why I got to plan for the failure of not getting there? It's baked into it. The failure don't need to be planned for if your success, your true success, already accounts for you doing it and doing it at a level that the average cat can't even understand. See,
come on, Lou, preach to us.
A mindset that minimizes the man who don't understand what success truly is, right? So I don't even want to comprehend what failure looked like because I already got the map to get me there. I need the map to get me there faster. The average cat is just hoping he get there. The next level dude is hoping he get there, the average cat get there. The next level cat hope he get there without getting lost. And then the real cat is the one who get there and get there faster than everybody else. That's all I'm saying.
No, I ain't no right or wrong. I'm with you. I dig what you're saying. Mel, get in here, man. I want to hear what you got to say.
So there's levels to it, right? So failure is only failure if you accept it as final. That's really what it boils down to. I have to disagree with Lou slightly. Like success is only if you get there faster than anticipated, because sometimes you do hit those bumps in the road. You do have to recalibrate, reset, refocus. We do what we call a plan, do, review, right? And so you might not make it there in the initial time frame or faster than you anticipated, but the fact that you didn't give up and you had the tenacity to keep going forward and you persisted until you made it there, that is still a success. It may not be the success that you wanted, but it is success nonetheless. Right.
And it still may be a success that other people never reach.
That's a good point.
So there can be a higher level of success if you break records, if you do things faster. You know, that's almost like saying the person that won the gold at the Olympics, if they didn't break the record, they're not successful. Well,
Right.
They're still successful because they won the gold. They just didn't break whatever the world record is at that specific time.
Well,
So-
let me ask you this, just to get in here, just to pick your brain. So last week we talked about my man in the, I want to say the 400 hurdles that came in second and broke the record. The second place finisher broke the record, and the first place finisher won the gold. Both of those broke the record. The loser, if we want to call him that, because he's a silver medalist, broke the record. Is he a success?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a success.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole goal of what we've been talking about is not giving up. You know, that's the whole thing, is not giving up, continuing to keep moving forward. That's what this is all about.
But Robert,
Yep.
his aspiration was the gold medal. His aspiration was to be first, for the next 4 years, to be considered the best in the world at doing that. He eclipsed the record that had been standing for the fastest time ever, and he came in second.
Is that still looked at as success?
Well, I mean, it's relative. You know, it's,
Right.
it's however Lou sees it, however Glenn sees it, however you see it. I'm just curious as to whether or not, you know, you think he can feel himself a success. And
I
the
do.
way that Mel described it, because to me, Mel has the most compassionate perspective on it. You know, does he still get to feel like a success?
Here's the thing. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's what success is. The progressive.
Whoa, run that back. Now, run that back. Hold on.
Lou, I almost said, please.
I mean, he was a philosopher. Hey, Lou, he was a philosopher when he did that. He even did it with the emotions. Go ahead, Mel. Do it with the emotions. You know.
You a yogi on that one, man. You got to run that back for the small bus people, man.
Rob, we need you to go in your other room and talk from there.
Right, isn't he loud as hell, man?
Anytime you get excited, you loud as a banshee, bro.
Oh, Mike distorting this shit. He just, you know, just all over. Like a
Let me
cow.
move my mic back. Let me move my mic back. Y'all talking about me now. See,
It's actually in the screen, Robert. So you probably got some space that you can move it back. Since we can see the damn
There
mic.
you go, bro.
It's probably quite, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
Put
see,
your
I have
mic-
a problem.
Put your mic behind your computer or your phone or wherever. Put it behind that.
But Mel, here's my
Put it in
problem.
the other room.
We
We'll
have
still
the
be able to
same
hear it.
damn mic. Why do you sound like that? And I
I'm
sound
feeling
like
some kind of way. I'm feeling attacked. I just want y'all to know that.
You triggered?
Yes, I'm triggered. I'm triggered right now.
We got the same damn
Y'all
mic.
better check out these compensation packages because Rob might have a different deal than y'all, man.
Hey, Lou, I can't even eat chips, you know, tonight. Mel is cooking a full course meal, and all I can do is drink. I mean, what?
I just
Something's
don't want
wrong.
Mel to forget that thought he just laid on us, though. I don't want him to forget that because that,
Oh, I won't forget it.
there was some stuff right there, man.
And I wish I could say that I was responsible for the quote that actually came from Earl Nightingale in something called The Strangest Secret. And he says success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So it's the progress of it. Like you can be successful on the way. It's not a destination, it's a journey. So production is giving us the sign to move to the next topic.
Yeah. I got it, brother. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm quarterbacking. So let's talk a little bit of politics, man. And I'm just going to ask it straight out. Should Cuomo have resigned? Glenn, you know, you're the resident, you who I look to for our political acumen. What do you think, man? Should Cuomo have resigned?
I think he didn't have a choice. I think that was probably the right thing to do because I think his back was against the wall. Democrats have for years, really pushed on what the other party allows. And that was one of the big things that they talked about a lot, So I don't know that he had a choice, but I'm not saying that he shouldn't have. I think, his way of looking at things was, if you come out defending a woman saying you attacked them with a picture of you hugging a woman, that's not exactly a really good defense. Like, see, most women like when I hug them. Why doesn't she like it? That's basically what you were saying. So yeah, I think, I think he didn't have a choice. It's sad because it ruined a really promising, already
dynasty of sorts.
Career and the potential to do even more.
Yeah. Loud ass Robert. Why don't you chime in?
See, I didn't push my mic out of the way. People won't see it.
Yeah, it's still close.
It's
though.
okay, Robert. They still hear you.
They can still hear me.
Oh,
come on, no. Come on, no.
So I think, I think he did some great things, but I do think that, like Glenn said, it's time. He was forced. We looked at the generational. If you look at some of the commentary that the analyst was saying, he came up in an era. He's Italian, and family is important. And some of the generational old school Italians, they hug, they kiss. It's a sign of affection. It's not the affection that you and I think of when we are, romanticizing a woman, but it's just those things. It's almost like the Godfather, if we can use that, term. So, but I think he didn't keep up with the times. Now we got to give church hugs. We can't do some of the things that we were able to do before.
Christian side hug.
Yeah. I mean, you got to step back a little bit when you're hugging them. Bend they back a little bit. No. So I mean, it's.
Oh Lord, not the back.
No.
Let's not do that again.
Right.
This was last week.
Right. But that'll be on Clubhouse, people. We can talk about that on Clubhouse. Bring that question up. But I do think that he did do some good things, and it was time for him to move on.
Lou, what you think, man?
I just think the true global pandemic is the treatment of women. I've been a lot of places in the world, and I've seen a lot of deplorable examples of how we treat women in this world. And the fact that we, in 2021, are still trying to figure out how to listen to them is ridiculous. The other element to this is that he's not a true supporter of the Knicks. And for me, that's unacceptable.
Well, wait a minute, Lou. You got to support the Knicks.
He got to go.
Lou, you delivered that so cool. I just want you to know.
So he really
man, you just slipped that in,
so
man.
Cool, Lou. I just want you to know. I hope they recorded that shit. You delivered that shit.
I'm just trying to keep it funky, man. If he ain't supporting the Knicks, he got to go, man.
It's hard to support the game. They even throw Oakley out of game.
And the way you treat women, like you can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Before I pull Mill in, I do think, man, that there are a whole lot of things, man, that the era that we are in is dictating. And I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and I'll swing back to where it really ties in. But I also think, man, that as the world changes, those who ultimately end up crying foul are as responsible for educating and preparing the new generation and the world for what it is that is problematic, that has not been problematic before. So I think that there is a sensitivity and a compassion in your attempt to educate that is missing. Like, it's like, don't accept that treatment and then run off and cry foul. It's like, let's educate people in real time and say, hey, this isn't cool. We can't do that. Maybe you did that last year. Maybe you did that 2 years ago. We can't do that anymore. But I will tell you this, and this is something that isn't going to win me any fans either. But one thing that made me uncomfortable, what's the attorney general, the sister that was speaking? I think she's the attorney general.
Oh, Letitia James. I think that's her name.
Yeah, chocolate sister.
The AG of New York. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to her, man. And I really did not hear as much about what he had done that was considered foul as much as I heard it's now time for women to run the state. And I felt like, okay, you're losing the reality of what the problem is here by all of a sudden pushing the female governor agenda. Like, that can be what it can be, but don't paint that as a motivation for wanting to take Cuomo down, because the best person for the job, man or woman, should have the job. She was painting it like, okay, we need to get him out of here because we need a woman to run the state. And I'm like, that's kind of not what the point is here. I'm sure that there are a bunch of women capable of running the state, but what does that have to do with making sure that he's held accountable for what he's done? I don't see the connection there, you know, and it felt like she was using it as a launching pad for something that had nothing to do with what the real time issue was. You know, if his replacement is a man or a woman, that's all great, as long as there's somebody who's capable and the best for the job at the time. But why are you pushing that? Like, that's the payoff. We're going to get him out and get a woman in. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is to hold him accountable for what he's been accused of doing. So come on, Mel, before I start getting the hate mail.
No, I agree with you, right? You know, when somebody does something, it's not that the exact opposite needs to replace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if there's a qualified woman to take the position and she's in line, then yes, you are already in line, not because you were a woman, but because you are qualified.
Exactly.
So I agree with you on that. I think he absolutely should have stepped down. I'm not, you know, anti-step down. If he did those things that they say he did, then yeah, he needs to be out of there. Some of my New Yorker friends said we saw the national Cuomo, like we saw what he did as far as the pandemic and the coronavirus. So everybody grew to love him because of his activities there. But the way that he ran the ship on a regular basis and the type of person that he was on a regular basis wasn't somebody that the national public got to see. And I don't live there and I don't know much about the politics in New York, so I can't say personally, but my friends that lived there, when they expressed to me, they were like, yeah, you know, we love what he did for coronavirus. He was great for that time during the pandemic. However, this guy's a douchebag. So, you know, there's that part of it as well. So, yeah, I'm in agreement. Down.
And the lieutenant governor happens to be a woman, so she'll become governor.
But what isn't that what black people do though? I mean, how are we any different when it comes to that? Like, black people, if you're placed or installed in a position of power, you carry with it the responsibility of your identity, right? And so I know if you put a black person in that same spot and they said the same statement, hey, it's time for some diversity in the governorship, we would probably applaud them. Like,
but if they were already there, bro, and they were next in line, they didn't get there because it was time for diversity in the governorship. They got there because they were qualified to, like, if I'm the vice president, you know what I'm saying? Or if Kamala is the vice president and something happens to Joe, you know, we can't say it's time for some diversity in the presidentship or it's time for a woman president. She was the vice president. She's next in line. It wasn't because she was a woman or because she's black or whatever. It's because she was qualified and she's next in line. That's what I'm saying. And I don't think a black person should say, yeah, it's time for a black person.
Oh, so
they say it like that, man. Was that how they would say it?
Exactly how they say it.
Yeah, I got you.
Jive turkeys. They throw the arm down like that.
but I think what's happening with the two opinions out there now that you two guys are bouncing around are the things that seem like they're connected, and they aren't. The reality is, if there is a disproportionate representation in an office, then it's always time for a change. And I'm always down for that. However, I don't think that you should position it as the reward for somebody's accountability being called to the forefront. To me, it's two totally different things. That has nothing to do with it. We could just have a runoff, and the candidates be black, female, whatever. We're talking about this man did A, B, or C, and he needs to be held accountable for it. Not since he did that, now we need to get us a woman in there. I just think it's kind of in poor taste. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like has nothing to do. It's almost like when people say when you talk about blue cops killing black folks and folks go, well, black folks kill black folks. That's true.
I agree 100%. I think we just need to get us a Knick fan in there, male or female.
That's all he cares about, a Knicks fan. Oh my goodness.
You all right with me? Hey, look here. Before we move on to this relationship question I have, and we have a couple, but since I get to be the host, I'm gonna choose the one we go with.
Oh my God!
Before we do that.
Oh, Robert, your mic is good. I heard you rub your head.
I told you.
Let me go back on mute.
And we got the same mic, Glenn, so something is wrong. But anyway, so we talked a little bit last week or the week before about this new era, non-binary, and now we have to make sure that we're talking about a man that was born a man or woman that was born a woman, and we have to navigate those spaces. And that's all cool and well. I think that, there is some unfair judgment on people who mean no harm, and there's no malice intended when they say him or say her, when they don't know what your position is and you haven't educated them on what you prefer. But I read something funny today, man, and it tickled me so bad. Actually, I read it yesterday, and I want to share it with you guys before we hop into this next question. The statement says, I feel bad for parents nowadays. You have to be able to explain the birds and the bees and the bees, the birds and the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, the birds that look like bees, plus bees that look like birds but still got a stinger. Oh, okay. So now that I got that out. Hey, man, next question. So your wife changes what you love about her. Uh-oh. Maybe it's her breasts, it's her butt, her hair. She knows that it's one of the things that you dig. She doesn't consult you. She changes it. Do you have any say? Mel, I got your attention. Let's get it.
I just wanted to let Lou know that I also made fresh scallops. And they're delicious. They're delicious. Oh my God!
I appreciate you for that.
Welcoming Kennery Smith into the room. We have mentioned your name several times because Robert went out and got a microphone to try to sound like you, and we also hyped up the fact that you will be with us on August 21st down at the Black Women's Expo. But let's revisit the question. Your wife changes what she knows you love about her, be it her ample bosom, her heart-shaped buttock, or her hair, or something like that. Do you have any say so? Mel, I'm not gonna leave you alone. I know you're talking about scallops, but you can switch gears. Do you have any say so?
I mean, so my hope or prayer would be that in those types of situations, we have conversations about things like haircuts and stuff. I really don't care about how she.
It sounds like y'all didn't. Sounds like she just did it. So let's not deal with it in the place that we hope. Let's deal with it in the way that it's laid out. She went and did it. She didn't talk to you.
What? How do you change your butt, bro? Like, did she go? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you deflected. She figured out a way.
She went to Miami, with the girls. You didn't know about it.
What you say, Lou?
And got a
Dr.
butt.
Miami got that all figured out for you. I lived in Miami about 15, 16 years. Dr. Miami got that figured out, man. And she says she going to Miami for a visit, man. Mel, you better stop her, man. You better take her passport, her vaccination card, man. She's coming back with a flat butt, man.
Right. I honestly don't know how I would handle that. I have no idea. how I would handle that in that type of situation. I just don't know.
Robert,
I can see Mel at the bar.
Robert, you've had a lot of relationship success. Yeah. Tell me how you would handle it.
You a smart aleck tonight, but you know, I did have that situation come up, so I can't speak to it.
Oh,
that,
wow. I want details now.
No, it wasn't a butt thing, but it was a hair thing.
Oh.
You know, so the you know, they decided that they wanted to cut off all their hair. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to do that, that's your body. You can do what you want. You know, I would prefer you give me a heads up, but
no pun intended.
Yeah, just give me a little leeway that you know, this is that you're coming home from the, you know, beauty shop and you're not going to have all the hair that you left with that morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's really it. But at the end of the day, it's we have to love them through it. And if our women want to do that sort of stuff, hey, I'm riding with you.
Glenn, talk to me.
So is this your wife or girlfriend? Just point of context, just asking.
Let's assume spouse, you know.
This is a side piece, Glenn.
Robert.
The views of Robert Hazard.
I know, really, are not
the
views of the cave.
It's 9:47, and I want to make sure we invite everybody over to Clubhouse. So come on, Glenn, talk to me.
If it's your wife, you kind of have to accept it, but you don't have to let it go. You need to be able to voice your concern if she's going to do something drastic to alter her body. I was going to ask if it's like a butt reduction or expansion. I would want to know that too. But yeah, I think you should at least voice your concern with it, because if you have an open relationship that you can talk about things, that's something that would have been talked about. So this shouldn't have happened without that.
Before I bring Lou in, you know, I'm gonna my philosophy is always this: if you're communicating, and she knows how much you enjoy that particular thing, that's a bit of a statement to change it. And if you are married and you are, you know, the spouse that energy is supposed to be prepared for, you know, it's almost like the guy who says, you know, he watches his wife get dolled up to go to work and she spends all her time, you know, with her hair looking like a chicken at home. Like she doesn't care how he sees her look, but, you know, everybody else gets to see her look good. To me, I think that all you can really do is tell somebody what you like, what turns you on. And their actions really tell you a whole lot. I mean, that's just the reality of it. If you love her hair short and she doesn't even consult you, you know, she doesn't say, hey, babe, I know you like A, B, or C, but I want to try this for a minute and see how it goes. Just come home with the Beyonce weave, you know, then I think that she can't argue when you feel like what you enjoy isn't significant to her. If there was not even a conversation, you know, nothing. It's like if, you know, you had a really, really nice beard and she really, really loved it. And, you know, every night, you know, she falls asleep playing in your beard and one day you come home and you bald face and you ain't said nothing, you know, she gets to feel like, well, damn, babe, you know, I really like that. Like, why would you do that? And not say anything to me. You know, you look like you 8 years old and I ain't giving you none because I'm not a pedophile.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
Lou, come on, talk to me.
Yeah, real quick, I would just say, you know, ain't nothing to me more sexy than a confident woman. And so I just feel like, you know, if a woman come home and she confident in whatever she got going, then I'm good. You know, if I gotta validate her, then they don't really work for me. You know, I like confidence. I like somebody who's like, yeah, I did this. And
well, Lou, don't you like a mate that also is intentional about feeding what you like? Then do you like that as well? That doesn't. I mean, and everybody's different. I don't.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I would just say, you know, I'm a little crazy, man. Like, I don't know what I like. You know what I'm saying? Till you teach me.
I think we've determined you're a little crazy, bro. That's
like y'all figured it out, right? Y'all only needed what 50 minutes, 26 seconds to figure that out.
No,
like
no 5.
No, we knew it about 9, 12.
Yeah, we gotta do it early.
We knew it about 9, 12, 9, 13.
Yeah, like I mean, I might see it and be all on. I'm dead. I'm ready to die on the hill that she shouldn't do it. And then she walk in and I'll be like, oh shoot, you look good.
Yeah.
Right? That's my crazy. So my feeling is like, what if I'm wrong? Right? So to me, in your case, Lou, she just needs to know her husband. And she knows that you're open-minded enough to know that, hey, it's whatever. You know, if you don't like it, you probably gonna let her know. And if she does it and you like it, it's like it's on and popping. But if she does it and you don't like it, she'll know, okay, I'm gonna take this out of the menu. Glenn, I'm watching you. I have to say that every show. I'm just letting you know. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's just, you know, paying homage to the kind of guy you are. You know, because let's be honest, a lot of men. I'm still good. I'm rocking with you. Right?
Yeah,
I'm loyal, right?
So there's, Lou, a lot of men are really controlling when it comes to that aspect. I mean, I've seen and heard of dudes, man. This is no joke, Glenn. I'm gonna poison you. I've seen dudes almost act like they will leave their wife. I saw a dude, man. His wife cut her hair, and they almost had to get a divorce.
How much did she cut though? I'm like, let's be for real. Now you can't.
Yeah, come on now, I'm just saying. She didn't went. It's down here to a back level. You know,
she went from like Jennifer Lewis to Halle Berry.
Oh, did she look like Halle Berry?
Right. No, yeah, she looked like Halle Berry. That's a different thing.
Hey, she looked like Fred Berry. Hey, look, but here's the thing. He looked like he was lucky he had found somebody to marry him to begin with. So I'm like, dude, you can't be too damn picky. You know, you should be glad you found that one, because I don't know there's a whole lot of options out here for you.
There's some generous women out there because I've seen their husbands.
Hey man,
Glenn, that ain't right, man. That ain't right, Glenn.
Bruce, you know you've seen a woman, and then you look at her husband and be like, how in the hell?
Hey, Lou, as we get closer to time, man, as we get closer to time, I want to remind you, man, to hang around before we go to Clubhouse. Make sure you don't leave.
As Mel's taking pictures of his food.
I see that.
And I want to make sure that we take some time, man. We jumped in so fast, Lou. We didn't find out what you do, where you do it, where you can be found. So give me about 30, 45 seconds, man. Tell me what it is you're doing right now. If there's something that you can be engaged, you know, on a broader platform, and let us know how we can do that.
So I'm part of a team that starts medical schools. I'm in Las Vegas right now. This is our third health professional school. And we do kind of a novel concept. Instead of training physicians in hospitals, we require them to do home visits in low-income households and in medically underserved communities. And that's how they learn medicine. We're the only ones in the country that do this concept. And any concept you see like it, you pretty much know who now does it, who made that happen.
Who started it. Is there a website, man, people can go to and find out about what you're doing?
Out here in Las Vegas, the name of the work we're doing out here is called Genesis. And so you can go to genesis.roseman.edu and learn more about it.
Let's get that production team. What is it?
Roseman, ROSEMAN.edu. I also own a company, a technology company in healthcare, also called Humble, HMBL. And that technology platform powers the work that we do in Genesis. And so the way you can support, honestly, is just if you believe that good people should, be supported in doing good work for people who don't have opportunity, then share that. When you see what we're doing, share it with somebody. It's it's like anything, right? If you believe in love, then share that love. And so that's what we're about. Yeah, we just about that. That's it.
Now you got him started, Lou.
Yeah, really.
No, well,
Roger said he had smart friends. We didn't believe it, Lou. You finally proved it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta read
for a long
Roger
time.
got
one. He got one smart friend.
Y'all don't feel like
All we
that.
can say
You know
is
what?
Hey,
That's
one is a
amazing.
start, though. One is a start.
That's the journey. It's
Yeah.
the journey. His
That's
success
family,
is Lou.
man.
Lou
Him,
is a
his
success.
brother Okanta, his father Dr. Jackson, his mom, like all of them are like been family to me. Even as crazy as I've been throughout life, yeah, they ride with me, and I love them for it. And I'm glad y'all are part. Y'all got to know them and all that. And so thank you all for this opportunity. I really appreciate it, the opportunity to meet y'all. We got to go to the Franklin Room when I come to Chicago, and we have some drinks together and have a good time.
Absolutely, man. We enjoyed you, man. You fit right on in. I can't wait to have you back, man. Before we get out of here and go to Clubhouse, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out my dear friend Chris Big Shug Moore, who we lost yesterday, the day before. Big Shug had a kidney transplant many years ago, man, and he just kind of always struggled with it after that, man. And he finally succumbed to those complications, man. And he is a Chicago staple. He's a frat brother of Rogers, but he's a Chicago staple, man. He was the most significant host of the Cotton Club's open mic season, where I really started to move around in the music network of Chicago, man. He was just a great dude. There was nobody that could host an open mic like Chris Big Shug Moore. I called him Sugar Cookie. And so I want to just acknowledge that brother, man, and to everybody that's watching that knew him, man, and loved him. Prayers to that family, man. So, Glenn, why don't you give us a little instruction, man, on how we're going to transition over to Clubhouse, and Lou, stay put when we close out. We're going to pop back in the green room for a minute before we pop over there.
Yeah, the name of the room is Live from the Cave Post Show. So easy to find. You'll see us in the hallway. If you're a member of Club 220, you'll see it pop up as soon as you log in. But Live from the Cave Post Show. You'll see myself, you'll see Sean, you'll see Rob, you'll see Mel over there as well. So join us over there for about 30 minutes as we kind of continue the conversation.
Absolutely. I'd say, give us just a few minutes to wrap up after we log off.
Yeah.
10:05 or so, we should be rolling in there. So as always, man, thank you once again, Lou, for your time with us. Thank you for accepting the invitation. My dear brethren, Mel, Rob, Glenn, the backstage people, Keisha and Raj, everybody, man. Thank you guys. The faithful guys have been rocking with us. Yo to the Nukes. And we'll see you guys over at Clubhouse, man. Until next Thursday night at 9. Good night.
Camped out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.